This is Hindsight Radio.
I represent it.
The information station changing the nation.
Peace, prosperity, extreme wealth, extreme good health to everyone listening. Today is January the 2nd, 2021, and the year has already started off great. The year has already started off extremely well, and I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful for everyone who attended the prosperity ritual with me, myself, my family. It was truly inspirational to see all of the people that attended and took the time to do a small thing but a great act in trying to or manifesting the things that they desire in their life, the good things. You know, there was families there. And that's inspiring. And I'm grateful that you guys trusted me with that time, which is very important to yourself and your family to do that. We did, putting that good energy out there. So I know 100% that people, those ones that joined in, will be successful this year. They took charge of their prosperity. They took charge of their wealth and whatever they were asking for: peace, good relationship, harmonious relationships. And I know I'm going to do great things this year myself. It's guaranteed. And how was that guaranteed? I think it. Those are the thoughts that I carry in my mind and hold on to. I was flipping through the scriptures. This is Mark chapter 2. And it tells this story. And it got me thinking about, who's in my life supporting me? Who's willing to go the extra mile for me? And that's what you guys need to be thinking about. Who's willing to go the extra mile for you? Who's in your corner to help you be successful? And the other thing is, whose corner are you in to help them be successful? It works both ways. So let me read this. It says, a few days later, when Jesus again entered Capernaum, the people heard that he had come home. They gathered in such large numbers that there was no room left, not even outside the door, and he preached the word to them. Some men came, bringing to him a paralyzed man, carried by 4 of them. Since they could not get him to Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof above Jesus by digging through it and then lowered the mat the man was lying on. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralyzed man, "Son, your son's sins are forgiven." That's powerful. This place was crowded, jam-packed, people trying to get healed, wanting to hear a good, positive word. When you see crowds meet like that for one person, and try to get healed, that means that there is not many places like that. So they knew that this is where they can get information that can change their mind, that will help them. They knew real healing was there. And that's a whole nother subject about knowing where the real healing is. But 4 people took a paralyzed man up on a roof, dug a hole to drop him right above Jesus. And Jesus said he was amazed at this. He was like, he saw their faith, and he said to the paralyzed man, "Son, your sins are forgiven." See, they did the work to get him there. And Jesus saw this. and it got in his consciousness, the higher consciousness. He said, "You're healed. No fancy prayer, no jumping around, doing all of these rituals that you see most of the people doing, these complicated things. It was just, you're healed." The man got up and walked. Now, a whole nother situation took place after that, but I want to concentrate on the 4 men. The men that took the time to lower their friend down this roof, dig a hole, damage the roof to get him to be healed. And you have to look at this number 4. It was, 4. It takes 4 legs to hold up a table. So they had it. That shows support. 4. Do you have people that are in the 4 corners of your life supporting you, willing to dig to see to your success? Do you have that? I know most will say I might have 1, maybe 2, but 4, that's a stretch. You see, now, not to say that you don't have people in your life. I know most people got more than 4 people in their life that they call friends or family, people that they talk to on a daily basis. But are these people the 4 corners of support that you need to be able to dig through and get to your goals? Are they there? And the other question is, if you don't have that and you have something other than that in your life, then why are you spending time in places where there is no healing? These people took him to get healed. And to apply that information to today, to make it more relevant, who's leading you to success? No. What we have is people leading you to, no, that's not a good idea. Don't do that. They give you every negative reason why something doesn't work. I had someone just recently wanted to show me ideas of what they wanted to do. And of course, I didn't see the benefit of it all. And I didn't, I couldn't really share an opinion. All I could say was, hey, try it and see if it works. The only way you're going to realize if something works is if you try it and you do it, but I didn't offer a negative opinion of it. In my spirit, I thought it was absolutely not a good idea. But I didn't offer anything negative about it. I did pose some questions to strike some thoughts, but other than that, I had nothing to say because it wasn't something I would do. But, this person felt strongly about it. Go do it. And maybe in my consciousness, I would say you might need to talk to people that supports that idea. I'm not the person that will be supportive in that area, but I won't offer a negative opinion. And that's the thing. When we're looking for confirmation or something, talk to people that support you and what you do, not people that don't support you and what you do. Because they're going to give you every negative idea that's going to deter you from the dream that you have. Most times you need to just keep your mouth shut. But back to the support in your life. Who's supporting you? Because that's very important for success. You need support. You need a team. For this man to get healed, he needed those 4 men to get around those crowds, or he would have never got in there. They didn't let the adversity of so many people say, let's come back easily. Have you ever been ready to do something with some friends and then y'all go to do it and you realize it's not as easy to get it done as possible? Then one of the friends will say, even you yourself might say, hey, let's do it another day. But then there might be one person that'll say, no, we're here now. Let's get it done. And that's pretty much probably what went down with these four. One would say, listen, let's get it done. We're here. We want to see our friend healed. We want to see our friend be successful. We want to see success today. And we're going to get it. And this is what we're going to do to get it. And that's the type of people you need in your life. First and foremost, other than people, you need that in your life for yourself. You need to be determined to push through. Say you're the person that's laying on that mat, paralyzed with in your consciousness. You're gonna have to learn how to pick up your own mat and walk, because this day and age, to find 4 people that's gonna support you and go to that great length to your success is rare. And if you find that, you better hold on to it. And friends are not friends unless they're supporting you and encouraging you, pushing you to do better. And a friend is not a friend unless he's telling you the truth, not telling you what you want to hear. You see? Now, that was part 1 I wanted to talk about. The other thing I want to talk about is, and it kind of goes to the next couple of scriptures. It says, verse 6 says, now some teachers of the law were sitting there thinking to themselves, why does this fellow talk like that? He's blaspheming. Who can forgive sins but God alone? Now, these so-called religious people, these were the religious authorities of the place. Because there's now some teachers. And I see this a lot. This characteristic still plays out today. And especially in the community or the space that I teach in, about being private, not considering yourself a U.S. citizen, being American national, handle all your fears through trust. I experienced this. Now, instead of looking at the healing that those words did, where he said, son, your sins are forgiven, and the man gets up and walk, they didn't look at that. They looked at the words that he used. Well, you don't say it like that. That's blasphemy. I experience that sometimes, right? I show people how to get out of things, and I give them specific things to say and do through my spiritual counseling. And then someone come up, well, it shouldn't be said like that. You shouldn't do it like that. Now, did what I said got results? Yes. What you just told me how to say it, did it get results? I don't know. They're just talking. So let me just reinforce what I'm saying by going deeper here. Immediately, Jesus knew in his spirit that this was what they were thinking in their hearts. And he said to them, why are you thinking these things? Which is easier, to say to the paralyzed man, your sins are forgiven, or to say, get up and take your mat and walk? But I want you to know that the Son of Man has authority on the earth to forgive sins. So he said to the man, I tell you, get up, take your mat and go home. He got up, took his mat, and walked out in full view of them all. This amazed everyone. They praised God, saying, we have never seen anything like this. And so the Christ showed him up. While they were sitting there worrying about the words he was using, they wasn't looking at the remedy. And that's what I get when I'm teaching. Oh, I have people come in, hey, I want to work with you. But then in the next breath, they'll say, yeah, well, we need to change some things. You saying this and saying that. You know what I say to them? I'm like Christ. Show me that what you just told me through your disciples, through your people that follow you, that they got remedy. And guess what I get? Silence. Well, this is what this say. Well, so you haven't proven that yet. What you say works. You're just going off something you read and you have not even applied it. And that's the same thing with these so-called teachers in this shit. They're telling people, oh, he's saying blasphemy. He's saying that. He's saying forgiving sins. But they haven't healed anybody. They called themselves teachers, but no one was getting healed. They weren't studying them. Those people wasn't there to see them. They was there to see Christ because he was getting results. And yet they were sitting there picking at the words he was using. See, a real teacher has authority over all things. It's not any particular word that can be used to create a remedy. It's the authority of the teacher and where he's coming from. The authority he gets from up above the higher consciousness of his mind. And the mastermind, the creator of all things, gives him the thoughts, the words to say at that particular time. Because one day I'll say this, and then I'll say, no, say this. It all depends on the situation. But yet, those teachers are so low in vibration, they can't see that higher divinity consciousness of mind. All they see is it got to be this way. That they're being real religious about it, and that's the issue that I see in this so-called ones that call themselves conscious. They're only conscious on a certain level. They are not conscious on the higher levels. So they can see that anything can fix a problem. It don't have to be set in stone. And the reason why people don't get healing through churches, through synagogues, through any meditation, because they're looking for a remedy, the same remedy for everyone. Isn't that like regular education system? Send a bunch of kids to a classroom to learn the same thing at the same time. And some do good, some don't, some fall in the middle. No, because that educational system is not tailored to the spirit of the being that they're dealing with. It's not. And your spirituality, you are a unique divine being. So you are here specifically to fulfill that uniqueness. That's what makes the world go around. That's what makes the world a special place. See, the reason why I know I'm so successful because I follow my uniqueness. One of my skill sets is to look at things and make them simple. The fastest, swiftest way to remedy. And my other skill set is I will not teach you something that I haven't walked through, that I don't have experience in. I will send you to the people that have the experience to do things. I know I have a certain area that I am strong in. Now, I can get strong in other areas, but at this moment in time, my uniqueness is showing you how to correct that nationality the swiftest, quickest way possible. In the simplest way, without all the convoluted stuff. And guess what? People get their passport through this method. And some even have gotten student loans, just magically disappeared, paid off without them paying a dime. Now, I don't even promote that, like, hey, do this passport and you're going to get rid of student loans. No, I don't even teach it like that. But it's happened several times. What I'm teaching you is become who God told you to be. The God in you is calling you to be. You're calling yourself to do something. And I can't tell you what that is. All I can tell you is your higher self is always speaking to you. Listen. Ignore outside people telling you who you are. You tell yourself who you are through your higher consciousness. Say to yourself, right now, my lower self wants to talk to the higher self and get guidance. Have you ever done that? I've done that. The first conversation I have is with myself. And one thing I have to be mindful of is this conversation that I'm having with myself is not for everyone else. Because we tend to, tell her, this is what I told myself, and then kind of put ourselves on pedestals and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm tapped in. See, that's a religious mindset. That's an ego mindset. And what my higher consciousness tells me is for me. Now, I may share it with you, not for you to follow what I'm saying or doing, but it may encourage. All I'm trying to encourage you to do is go within. Go to your higher consciousness. Go to the higher depths of your mind and talk to that part of you, because that's where the truth lies. You can only worship God in spirit and in truth. And the truth is found only in the higher depths of the consciousness, the higher levels. And it's always speaking, but it never yells, it never orders. It's just speaking, yes or no, false or true. Those are the simple words that's being uttered. See, that's why the Christ was so simple to it. Hey, your sins are forgiven. Get up and walk. Done. Let me move on. He had a crowd to deal with. And see, this is why these teachers was hating. He was getting remedy. And the people loved him. They missed him. He was gone for a while. See, no remedy over there. They knew that. Oh, you guys are just talking. And that's what they were doing. They kept doing more talking. And I see that in this community, just people talking. I doing this, I got this, they'll say this, but never show you proof. And not only that, you see, you judge a fruit by the tree it bears. You judge a tree by the fruit it bears. Where are their followers? What are they getting? What remedy are they getting from what they're teaching? And that's the question. And that's the question I ask you to pose me. What remedy are you giving? You call yourself a teacher. Challenge me. That's what keeps me on my toes. That's what keeps me honest. That's what keeps me relevant. And I do realize that some people really don't want remedy. They just want information to just be a part of something. But I can tell you right now, the people I talk to on the phone is people that are the four corners, or the four people that hold me up. Because I talk to some people, they don't even realize how they are, just by not so much doing something for me, just by them doing the things for themselves and their family, how much that is a support of me, because that's what I like to see. I know people, I give them an idea, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and they'll just follow me. I'm not asking them to follow me. I mean, I try stuff all the time. And I say, I'm going to do this. I think this is a good idea. And they will do exactly what I'm doing. I don't have to say, hey, go do this. I give them the information and they go do it. Because why is that? Because they see healing over here. They see remedy through what the things that I'm doing. Not say, I don't want you to think that I'm bragging. What I'm trying to get you to realize, if you want to follow someone, and this applies for me too, if you want to follow someone, make sure they're getting results. That's why those people were following Christ, because he was getting results. He was getting it done. And he wasn't requiring a whole lot of nonsense from them, from people. See, the reason why people don't give you straight up answers is because they don't really have an answer. Recently, I did a consultation with a gentleman. He got a hold of my child support information, and he was confused on some things. Now, of course, he didn't buy it from my website. He bought it from someone else he thought he could get remedy from. Then when he buys it, he sees me on there teaching. Here's me. Wait a minute. He thought he was buying product from another teacher, but the teacher that was teaching was giving him my information, didn't even have the dignity to even teach it himself and use his own face and voice. He used mine. Profited off my teaching. And that's fine. I'm not upset with that. That's fine. Because what that does is that brings the truth out, and those people eventually come and talk to me like this guy. And he was like, hey, I bought this thing and it led me to you. And I'm thankful for that. Go ahead, keep selling my stuff. See, I don't complain about things. I don't have time to deal with shysters and stuff like that and complain about. They'll get their payment. You reap what you sow. So I don't have to sit up there and talk about that and criticize them over that. Actually, I'm grateful because it brought me another person who was looking for the truth. Anywhere I get people to me that want truth, I'm grateful for it. So even your people, I don't even want to call them enemies, that call themselves enemies towards you will bring people to you. So I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm glad that the brother came and got the information and got that video cleared up. He got to see the truth. Remember, who is supporting you? Who's supporting your endeavors? And most of all, who are you supporting? Are you that person? Because you have to give it out in order to get it. You got to be supportive of people in their endeavors. Now, I'm not saying support any old crazy idea. No, if you see some validity in it and it's not going to cause harm, support people in their ideas. If someone's wanting to open a business, support them. Hey, how can I support you? Well, what can I do to help you get through that? Because I know how tough it is to get a business off the ground. I mean, I've started several businesses from scratch. Now I learned, hey, don't buy them, don't start them from scratch. Go buy them, but let somebody deal with their hard work, and you go buy their business from them. Yeah. But that's amazing. This man had 4 people in his life that wanted to see to his healing. That is amazing. And the teacher who recognized that, hey, the faith, hey, God, y'all deserve to get healed. Jump to the head of the line just because they were their determination. And then the so-called teachers wanted to criticize that. And that's just what it is, just criticism. It goes nowhere. And they wanted to kill him. If you keep reading, they wanted to kill him because of that. He was showing them up. He was. The gig is up. You guys been around here calling yourselves the gurus, the teachers, and people coming in for y'all's advice, and nothing happening. And now we got this guy show up new on the scene, and he's dropping high science on the people, and they're getting instant results. Oh, wait a minute. We got to get rid of this guy. But that didn't stop Christ. The Christ minds remained faithful to the cause. He knew where his authority came from. He knew where his strength come from. And that's what I'm telling you. Remain faithful. even in adversity of people trying to come against you, even when you're trying to do good for people. This walk comes with a lot of things you must deal with. But if you are operating out of the divinity of your mind, the higher consciousness, all you see it is this processes, and you stay out of judgment of people, even when they're coming against you, you will remain successful. As soon as you get distracted, and I see this a lot. Guys are doing great. They start off with great teachings, and then all of a sudden their videos change. And they're criticizing this brother for saying that. They criticizing for that. They criticize this, how I disagree with this one. Now their videos are dominated by that. I followed a lot of people, and I would watch their videos, and they had this come off high science, and then as soon as they get attacked, they're more concentrating on those attacks than concentrating on giving true information out to people. See, and that's what I always remind myself. Always stay focused on the mission. The mission is to give out the truth and remedy, to teach. This is why I always put the spiritual teachings first. Because through that, spiritual teaching becomes the law remedy, the life remedies. Actually, by me going to the spiritual side of things helps you figure out your own problems. And that's what I want. I want people to be able to figure it out. That's why Jesus said, sin no more. What does that mean? Let's dig into that. When he says sin no more, what he's simply saying is this: stop thinking low of yourself. Get up off that mat. You're laying down. You had people carry you in here. Get up off that mat and walk and support yourself. Through proper thinking, always thinking good of yourself, always thinking good of your situation. And if you do meet challenges, realize that it's you that attracted that to you. I got someone who wanted to tell me all of their problems right before the New Year's, and I had to stop them. And I said, listen, everything you're dealing with, you asked for it. Oh, I asked for my wife to leave. I asked for this. I asked for that. I asked my brother to do this, and I asked for this. All of these things. That's all they kept saying. They play. They took what I said, and they didn't like it. And I say, yes, you did. Because who's dealing with it? I'm not dealing with that. You are. And if your life is a looking glass to everything you're thinking, then you must take responsibility for everything you're experiencing. Life is nothing but a looking glass. That comes from a book. That's a poem, actually, that I'm somewhat quoting, not all the way. It's from James Allen. It's a book that was written, I think, in 1908. And the poem says, mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind, and evermore he takes. The tool of thought, and shaping what he wills, brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. He thinks in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but his looking glass. So yeah, that thinking you doing in secret is what's bringing you your greatest joys and your greatest ills. There is not, the universe is not biased. God is not biased. He gives you exactly what you're asking for. So it's fair. I said it in my last video. What you're getting is fair because that's what you're getting measured out. Exactly what you're thinking. And I had to cut it short. He couldn't accept that, and I stopped right there. Hey, don't accept it. I'm not here to force what I'm saying on. Just like Christ, he didn't force his teaching. They didn't accept it. The Pharisees, he said what he had to say, and he kept it moving. And that's what I did. And you got to be careful that you don't become too argumentative about what you're teaching. Sometimes I got caught up in that. Especially when you're dealing with loved ones. We tend to want to, you guys got to see this. This is the right way to go. No. What is right is allow them to make their own choices without you trying to force your ideas on them. And from there, you'll have peace and they'll have peace. Because the turmoil you put yourself trying to force people into a knowing what you know or what you think you know is going to cause you more problems and stress. So let them have it. And that's what I did. Let them make. That's what you believe. You want to continue and call people evil because you're not getting what you think is right. You see? You realize the ills or the evils going through people's mind when you just let them rattle off. Because it was actually said in the conversation at one point that a woman is not supposed to leave her husband because he's the husband in the Bible. He's the one that's supposed to do the separation. So that's religious minded. Because he read some scripture that supported that ideology. And now he's, to me, wondering why did she leave? Now I see why. Because you're trying to inflict religious ideology on someone and tell them to stick around even when they're not really getting fulfilled or getting the husband that they deserve. You try to write things in black and white. And when you're dealing with relationships, nothing is black and white. It's all colorful. You got to compromise on some things. You have to work through things and overcome things. And the biggest thing that you really have to overcome is yourself in a relationship and how you see things and you wanting things your way. That's the biggest thing. We trying to, just because we're in a relationship, we try to bend people towards our will. And men are definitely guilty of that. And I was guilty of that at one point in my life because I was using the Bible. The Bible says this, the Bible says that, but beating a woman over the head with the Bible because it said it there. Yeah, okay, it says that, but what about this? The Bible also says you're supposed to be compassionate and loving. Love your wife like Christ loved the church. Are you showing love? Because that's definitely not showing love when you beating your wife or your husband over the head with the Bible. That's not showing love. That's not operating in love. And I heard that crazy saying, and I was like, whoa, I didn't even challenge it. You know what I said immediately? I need to get away from this. Because this is infectious. If I keep listening to this kind of nonsense, I'll be in a situation where I'm separated from my relationships. I didn't even gauge it and go back and forth and say how crazy it sounded to me. Because at that point, when you're talking like that, you can't tell a person whether they let them live their life. Just like sometimes you got to let people walk into their own disaster. And I know that's tough because we love to see good for people. But sometimes people do their choices is asking for that. And one of the things that came up was, well, did I ask for all of these things? Okay, did Christ ask for people to speak against him when he was healing? But he knew that people would. He knew the hearts of man was evil, and they would, and he still did the teachings. Did he ask for them to try to seek to kill him? No, he didn't ask for that, but he knew the job, what it came with. He came with people with haters. So when you're trying to do good, you're going to get problems and because people are not operating out of the higher consciousness of their mind. And if they're not, they're going to oppose you. But what did Jesus do? He left those areas. Oh, when he started seeing that, okay, peace, I'm out. I did my work here. Let me keep going. And he found people followed him to other places. Then other people came and he healed. He kept the healing going. He didn't concentrate on the haters. Only time he addressed them when they came and prostrated themselves in front of him, and then he addressed that. And we have to keep in mind that that's what we need to do. Stay focused on your success, your prosperity, your extreme health, good health, and your extreme wealth. Concentrate on those things, because if you're concentrating on those healing those things in your life, all that other stuff they're talking won't even matter. And I give thanks for the God in me, the Christ mind in me, for even being able to speak these things. To be honest with you, because just because I teach it doesn't mean that I'm not challenged by it. But I know the process of overcoming those things, which makes it easier for me to get out of those negative aspects of thinking in my consciousness. Always seek first the kingdom, and everything, all these things will be added. And the kingdom that I'm speaking of is the higher thoughts and the higher conscious thoughts of the mind. Do I judge sometimes? Oh, hell yeah, I do. But I also know that it's not right, and I have to adjust my thinking. Why do I judge sometimes? Because I've been programmed to judge. By listening and having conversations with people, pointing out the faults of others, and you got to be mindful of that. So it's January 2nd, 2021. It's an exciting year ahead of us. Today is exciting. The possibilities are endless. The wealthy business ideas that people are coming up with during this whole pandemic issue. It's not a time to worry about vaccines and what the problem is going to be. It's time to be concerned with creating financial independence from the system that they had you tethered to. Creating your own system, your own economy in your house. The world condition does not have to be your condition. You have a choice in how you receive things through your consciousness of your mind. You have a choice on how you deliver things through the consciousness of your mind. It's all you. You have the power. The God is in you, working through you all the time. Now, what type of God are you going to be? You going to be a good God or an evil God? Which one? You have the choice. You could have the Christ mind or the devil mind. There's no devil out there trying to get you to make you do bad things. The only devil that comes up is the lower conscious thoughts that you're thinking that's pushing you to do things. So just like you have those lower thoughts, you can have the higher thoughts, have the Christ mind, and push yourself into the limitless lifestyle that I know you want. The limitless meaning unlimited wealth, unlimited good health, unlimited love in your life, unlimited peace. You choose all of these things through how you think and how you perceive. Life is nothing but a looking glass. And as a reminder, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Tuesday, the Truth Tuesday show with me, your host, Akiem. And then we have the Bombay show Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Brother's doing a great thing. His business is taking off. He got a food truck, and that thing is keeping him slam packed, slam busy. Then we have Jessica and Chaser on Thursday, the Divine Connection show. Wednesday, 10 a.m. is the Solomon Temple Show. And on Sunday, we have the Raising Independent Thinkers Show with Bathsheba Omani. Doing a great job. They're all doing a great job with their shows. All of them. So, till next time, peace, prosperity, extreme good health, and extreme wealth to all. Peace.